Yes.
Most of them, some of them?
It's required for the public safety department here at RAT. Been here for about 12 years. And worked 10 of it on midnights, working the overnights, and the last 2 years here on the afternoons. No complaints. We have a unique community here. As you know, we're one of two major schools in the country that have schools for deaf or hard of hearing individuals and students. We have a lot of resources here at the college to help us in our performance and our duties here in public safety, as well as the rest of the community. And so there's no really issues or setbacks to our office in regards to the deaf or hard of hearing community. And we gear ourselves specifically towards the NTID community and the students. Call we have, which we engage deaf or hard of hearing students with. We have Google Text. We have in our communications office that if a deaf or hard of hearing student needs to communicate with us for an emergency, they can call into that number and we can communicate via text. The officers are required to learn American Sign Language 1, 2, and 3 just to have a job here, so they have a basic understanding of American Sign Language when they do initially respond to a call, waiting for the interpreter to get there. And a lot of the officers no. We do have one on-call interpreter. We have run into situations where we have numerous calls where we do need numerous interpreters. Say it's late night, say 2 or 3 in the morning, and we'll have to call the backup interpreters to come in from home, which sometimes takes a little longer than expected. For hours, no, I would not think hours, but it does take some time for the interpreter to get in from home as we're waking them up out of their bed to come in to handle the situation. We've had 2 or 3 interpreters here on campus after hours because you know we're an institute of 18,000 students here, and to have 2 or 3 calls happen within a night is pretty uncommon to have an interpreter needed, but it does happen. And we do have interpreters that live relatively close, so hours no, maybe 15, 20 minutes, half hour. Some extremes, maybe an hour or so when we need the second and third interpreter to come in. Just for our own business practice, we always will have an interpreter, so translation is never lost. All calls are very important to us, so we don't want to miss any small detail that you're reporting to us. I mean, all calls, no matter how small they are very important to you and more important to us to make sure we get that correct. So even though some of the officers are pretty good with sign language, we want to make sure we get everything correct, so there is no misinterpretation of what you're trying to tell us. Involved with the community, the deaf community itself. There's a lot of ASL brown bag lunches. There's quiet zones. So I encourage my officers to be a part of the NTID community. Obviously, we are part of one college, NTID and RIT. We're exposed to the deaf and hard of hearing community all the time, so we naturally learn as we go. Our director is very strong about his officers going to classes, ASL classes, and partaking into NTID activities. We do have an officer, Officer And obviously being involved with the anti-ID community, you naturally pick up sign language as time goes on, and dealing with the deaf and hard of hearing community. Vasquez, Dolly, her first name is, she's part of the plays NTID hosts over in Panera Theater. She's really involved with the anti-ID community. Officer Sutherland, he works at residence halls over at Ellingson Hall, the office over there. He is really good at American Sign Language, and so we place him in the office over there to help with the students over there as an area to go to talk to and seek counsel or seek information from the students. Language 1, 2, and 3 to advance here at RIT. That's a prerequisite. They must have that. A basic understanding of American Sign Language for a first responder is a must need. As far as fluency goes, that comes with time, and that comes with coursework, and that comes with practice for us. So some officers, like Officer Sutherland, Officer Sullivan, are very proficient in sign. Some other guys, we have a lot of new guys on the public safety team who are just learning American Sign Language. So just like anyone who's learning, it takes time, practice, and effort to learn. And we want to learn because you guys are a huge impact to our community here. So we want to service you the best we can. In order to do that is to become understanding of the American Sign Language, as well as be proficient so we can communicate and be a better service to the deaf and hard of hearing community.